What if I told you that you could eat the exact same foods you're eating right now and lose weight faster? No cutting calories, no removing your favorite carbs, no extra exercise. Just one simple change that takes zero extra effort. Sounds too good to be true, right? It's not. It's science. And 99% of people have no idea this trick exists. The secret is the order you eat your food. And once you understand why this works, you'll never eat a meal the same way again. Let me explain what's happening in your body. When you eat food, your blood sugar rises. How much it rises depends on what you eat. Carbohydrates cause the biggest spike. Protein causes a moderate rise. Fat and fiber cause very little. When your blood sugar spikes, your pancreas releases insulin to bring it back down. Insulin is the fat storage hormone. The more insulin you release, the more your body is in fat storage mode. The less insulin you release, the more your body can burn fat. So the goal for fat loss is simple. Keep insulin as low as possible. And here's where the trick comes in. The order you eat your food dramatically changes how much insulin you release. Same exact food, same exact calories, completely different insulin response based purely on what you eat first. Here's what the research shows. When you eat carbohydrates first on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes hard and fast. Insulin comes rushing in to deal with it. You get a big spike followed by a crash. This is what most people do. They sit down at dinner and immediately grab the bread. They start their meal with rice or pasta. They eat the potatoes first because they're hot and delicious, and their insulin goes through the roof before they've even touched the protein on their plate. But when you eat protein and vegetables first, something magical happens. The protein and fiber create a buffer in your stomach. They slow down gastric emptying, which is the fancy term for how fast food leaves your stomach and enters your bloodstream. So when you eventually eat the carbs at the end of your meal, they hit your system much slower. The blood sugar rise is gradual instead of a spike. Your body releases way less insulin. Some studies show up to 70% less glucose spike just by changing the order. 70% from the exact same meal. Let me paint a picture of what this looks like in practice. You sit down to dinner. On your plate, you've got a piece of chicken, some roasted broccoli, and a serving of rice. Old you would dig into that rice immediately. Maybe mix it all together and eat randomly. New you eats strategically. First, you eat the chicken, all of it or most of it. Then you eat the broccoli. Then and only then do you touch the rice. Same meal, same calories, same macros. But your insulin response is dramatically lower. Your body stays in fat-burning mode longer, and over time, this adds up to serious results. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. This works for every meal. Breakfast? Eat your eggs before your toast. Having a sandwich for lunch? Pull it apart. Eat the meat and lettuce first, then eat the bread. Dinner at a restaurant? Skip the bread basket at the beginning. Start with a salad or appetizer that's protein-based. Then eat your main course protein and vegetables. Save any starches for the end. It sounds almost too simple, but that's the beauty of it. It is simple, and it works. I started doing this about 6 months ago, and the changes were wild. The first thing I noticed was that I wasn't getting that post-meal sleepiness anymore. You know that feeling after a big meal where you just want to nap? That's a blood sugar crash. When you eat carbs first, you spike hard and then crash hard. When you eat them last, the rise and fall is gentle. No spike means no crash. I was finishing meals and actually having energy instead of wanting to collapse on the couch. The second thing I noticed was my hunger between meals basically disappeared. When your blood sugar is stable, your hunger is stable. When your blood sugar is spiking and crashing all day, you're constantly hungry. You're riding this roller coaster of energy and cravings. Eating in the right order got me off that roller coaster. I could go 5 or 6 hours between meals without even thinking about food. And the third thing, which was the most important obviously, was that stubborn fat started coming off. I wasn't eating fewer calories. I wasn't doing extra cardio. I was just eating my food in a different order. My body was releasing less insulin, which meant it was spending more time burning fat instead of storing it. It sounds almost unfair how easy it is. Let me give you some more practical tips to make this work. When you're at a social event with appetizers, start with the meat and cheese. Skip the crackers initially. At breakfast, if you're having fruit, eat it at the very end after your protein. If you're drinking a smoothie, have some eggs first before the smoothie. If someone brings donuts to the office and you're going to have one, eat some protein first. A handful of nuts, some jerky, anything. Then have the donut. You'll blunt the insulin spike significantly. One more hack within this hack. If you drink apple cider vinegar in water before your meal, you blunt the spike even further. And if you take a short walk after eating, even just 10 minutes, you reduce it even more. Stack these strategies together, and you can eat carbs with a fraction of the insulin response you'd normally get. You can have your cake and eat it too, literally. Just eat it last and go for a walk after. Now I want to be clear about something. This isn't a magic trick that lets you eat unlimited garbage and lose weight. Calories still matter. Food quality still matters. But if you're already eating reasonably well and you're stuck, this could be the missing piece. And even if you're not perfect with your diet, eating in the right order makes any meal better for fat loss than eating in the wrong order. The other beautiful thing about this strategy is it costs nothing. It requires no willpower. You're not restricting anything. You're not white-knuckling through cravings. You're just eating your food in a smarter sequence. Once it becomes a habit, you don't even think about it anymore. You automatically reach for the protein first. It becomes second nature. So let's recap the insulin trick that 99% of people mess up. Stop eating carbs first. Start every meal with protein and vegetables. Save starches and sugars for the end of the meal. This simple change reduces your insulin spike, keeps your blood sugar stable, eliminates energy crashes, reduces hunger and cravings, and helps your body burn more fat. Same food, same calories, better results. It's the closest thing to a cheat code that actually exists. Alright, if this blew your mind a little bit, hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every week on fasting, fat loss, and strategies that actually move the needle. No nonsense, just what works. I'll catch you in the next one.